Guys, welcome back to Vintage Watch Street. We've got a video that's not for everyone, but it's going to be for a lot of people. A lot of the how to set day-date videos I see, they pretty much just say pull the crown out one position and adjust the day and date at 6:30 or 6. But for me, I think it's better to understand the mechanism more than just following one rule. So we're going to talk about how to set it, alternative ways to set it, how it's broken and why it breaks, and how to avoid breaking it. If you've got about 5 minutes, let's go ahead and get started. So we can rotate the hands around and around and adjust the day and date. That's true. We can also use this crown to manually adjust the day and date. So we've got a manual adjustment by the crown, and we've got the natural adjustment that happens when the time is just running at midnight. First thing we need to know, the crown has 3 positions, and they are called position 0, which is this one all the way against the case. Now, if you've got a diving watch, you need to unscrew this crown. If your watch is just a normal automatic, you don't need to unscrew anything at all. We can see this is all the way against the case. That's position 0. And notice I don't forcefully pull this out. I very gently pinch it to position 1 and pinch it out to position 2. Those are the 3 positions. 1, position 2. Now we need to understand if we're at 12 noon or at 12 midnight. The way we'll do this is we'll gently pinch this crown open to position 2, which is the time setting position. There's position 2. We're going to rotate this crown all the way around to 12. If the day and date flips, then we know we're at midnight. If the day and date doesn't flip, then we know we're at noon. A lot of people are walking around with watches that look like they're set correct, but they're either at the wrong AM or the wrong PM. Now, let's take a look at this. Let's go ahead and rotate this all the way around to 12 and determine if we're at noon or midnight. We never ever want to adjust a day and date anywhere near midnight. The reason for this is it's going to bind up. It's going to jam. We're at midnight, so we definitely don't want to adjust a day and date here. Now, we can see the day and date has naturally stopped changing. So here at 6 o'clock, we could adjust the day and date manually, no problem. And it would work very well, and that's the way most people do it. Most people are told to do it. Actually, you can adjust the day and date also at lunchtime, which is very, very far away from that natural change that happens between, 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. or 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Some watches even change between 9 and 3. So yeah, if the hour hand is anywhere at the bottom of the clock, you're generally okay. It's a very safe position, it really is. However, the way I like to do it, my watchmaker from the James Bulova School in New York, he taught me to go ahead and roll it on around to lunchtime. Now we're very, very far away from that natural change, so we can do the manual change here. If we do the manual change while it's naturally changing, this is going to bind up, and this is going to cause your date corrector to be stripped or broken. Then you need to buy a new date corrector. In addition to that, let me give this a little shake to get it running. In addition to buying a new date corrector, you'll have to service the machine all over to remove any possible debris. So it's very important that we understand why we have to set the day and date very far away from that natural evolution period that tends to happen, somewhere between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. One other comment, there usually it can be 28 days in a month or 30 days in a month, but this date wheel, it's set for 31 days, so you'll have to adjust it after months or before months, depending on how many days are in that month. Now that we know we're safely at 12 lunchtime, we can pull this out to position 1. Why not? Just flipping it very slowly. If you want it to run on an English day, flip it to an English day. If you want it to run on a kanji day, flip it to a kanji day. Let's run this one in English. Let's go ahead and put it on Monday. Why not? And then we'll flip very slowly, never speed rolling this crown. And if you feel any resistance, always stop. Push the crown in, pull the crown back out if you need to, but never force it. Rolling away from you and rolling towards you very gently to adjust the day and date in position 1. One way people accidentally break their watch is they'll be adjusting the time in position 2 and accidentally push it into position 1 and keep turning the crown and speed roll the day or the date, and it happens to be at 11 p.m. or 1 a.m. and it can destroy it. So make sure we're always in position 2 when adjusting the time, never slipping into position 1. Let's say we want to set this for Wednesday the 27th. What I like to do is set it one day before. I like to set it for Tuesday the 26th, and then I roll into Wednesday the 27th. And that gives me the clarity, the understanding, and the freedom to adjust the day at the AM or the PM. Let's say we want to have this set up for Wednesday the 27th at 6:45 a.m. Well, we know we're absolutely in the AM. And there we are at 6:45, and you can push your crown back into position 0 from here. And of course, if your watch is a diver, then you'll need to screw the crown back in. If it's not a diver, just push it back to position 0 and let it run. One thing we can do to avoid changing the day and date is using a watch winder if you're not wearing the watch. That way it continues to run and continues to follow the calendar. As well, if you're going to be not wearing your watch for a day or 2 or 3 or however long, you can give it a few shakes here and there just to keep the charge going so that you don't have to adjust the day and date later. So in summary, when this machine is making its natural evolution, typically within 1, 2, or 3 hours of midnight, you cannot manually change it. You have to wait until that natural evolution is absolutely complete, which typically happens, we can say safely, around 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. However, if you want to run it to 12 noon, you know that you're very, very far away from that natural evolution. But please be careful and never go to 12 midnight and accidentally roll the day and the date, because it's definitely going to damage the mechanism. All right, guys. Well, this is the way to set your day and date on most automatic watches, most divers, and nearly all of the Seikos. If you have any questions about this video or setting the day and date on your personal watch, please leave it in the comment section. And I really hope that this video has helped a lot of people not just follow instructions, but to understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. This is going to ensure the long-term quality and running of your watch. Thank you all very much for joining Vintage Watch Street.